Construction is now underway for what will be the largest McDonald's ever built.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 weirdest things to happen in the Olympic Village.
Pedroso, 16, was reportedly booted from their shared room so Oliveira could spend the night with Brazilian canoeist Pedro Goncalves.
Seriously, one of the visitors to Sochi took a picture of, this is the ceiling.
Quote, when we were done partying, we got out of our nice dresses, got back into our stadium coats, at which point she says they went on live television drunk.
For this list, we're looking at all the strangest occurrences in the Olympic Village over the years. Let us know which you found most shocking in the comments. Number 10, Jimmy Kimmel Wolf Prank.
Last night, Kate Hansen, who's a member of the U.S. luge team, posted a video using her Twitter and YouTube accounts of what appeared to be a wolf wandering the hallway of her dorm.
Capitalizing on the many failures of the Sochi Winter Olympics, Jimmy Kimmel decided to terrify the American public by tricking them into thinking that Team USA athletes were at risk of being eaten by wild Siberian wolves. He did this by roping in Kate Hansen, a luger, and having her film a trained wolf dog roam through some hallways and then post the footage on Twitter.
That was not a Russian wolf. That was an American wolf. And I know this because the wolf is backstage right now. We shot the video.
It's definitely an unusual stunt to pull, which didn't only freak out Americans watching at home, but everyone else staying in the Olympic Village who just wanted to win a medal without getting attacked by a wolf.
A media frenzy was born.
Number 9, questionable lodging. For whatever reason, it took a while after the birth of the modern Olympics for the organizers to realize that they actually needed to put foreign athletes up somewhere. But it took even longer for them to work out that they should put them up somewhere nice. Modern Olympic accommodations still aren't luxurious, but they're a far cry from Paris's Olympic Village back in 1924, which was described as being a, quote, shanty town. The provided buildings were little more than shacks near to the stadium, and staying there wasn't even free for the Olympians. It cost 30 francs per day. It's strange that these athletes were expected to live in huts and then compete for Olympic medals. Number 8, furniture bonfire.
One of the biggest mysteries of the 2000 Olympics is why they built the Sydney Olympic Park, which is fantastic, majestic, a gathering place for world-class athletes, why they built it on the edge of this huge, smoldering dump.
In true Aussie style, the Sydney Olympics in 2000 went out with a bang. But this wasn't the official closing ceremony. It was a party organized in the village by the athletes themselves.
But it only takes one goal to win a final.
According to some athletes who were present at the time, including Australian soccer player Alicia Ferguson, they started gathering the village's own furniture to burn it in an extraordinary bonfire.
It's a bonfire. Turn the lights out.
Luckily for them, this was before the age of social media. If that happened today, they would not be able to keep it such a secret and would probably get in big trouble with the organizers for having such a wild party. Number 7, stray dogs.
We're on our way to Dulles Airport and we're picking up 10 dogs that are arriving from Sochi.
Russia is famous for having a large number of stray dogs. In fact, in 2010, it was found that strays in Moscow have learned how to use the metro system. But a horrific decision to euthanize as many stray dogs as possible in the build-up to Sochi's Winter Olympics led to some terrible press for Russia in 2014.
These are 10 dogs that were rescued off the street by a group called Povo Dogs in Sochi.
Large campaigns were set up to encourage people to adopt some of the street dogs, and some Olympians actually did do this while they were there. Unfortunately, this didn't really help Russia's overall problem with strays. In the lead up to the 2018 FIFA World Cup, the exact same thing happened once again.
This has been a long process, but we're so excited to have these dogs here today.
Number 6, McDonald's.
Making a buzz this afternoon. In 85 days, some of the most finely tuned, in-shape bodies in the world will gather in London for the Summer Olympics. And McDonald's, of all places, will be a huge sponsor.
The Olympic Games has enormous sponsorship deals. It only happens every few years, and when it does, It's one of the most watched events in the world, so it's not surprising that McDonald's, the world's biggest fast food chain, featured prominently at the event until pulling out in 2017. But it was still a major force in Rio in 2016 when a McDonald's restaurant was built inside the Olympic Village and became extremely busy.
It's McDonald's Olympics Kids program, bringing together children in the Olympic spirit of unity, understanding, and friendship.
It turns out that although Olympians are sports personalities in peak physical condition, even they can't pass up a Big Mac.
It makes little sense for a fast food chain, which it says contributes to obesity, to sponsor the Olympic Games.
However, this particular McDonald's was so wildly popular that wait times were typically 30 minutes. Rio really took the fast out of fast food. Number 5, Drunken Interview.
And we are here with the victorious U.S. women's soccer team, including that goalkeeper Hope Solo.
Though soccer isn't as popular in the U.S. as it is in the rest of the world, that doesn't stop America's soccer players from having a great time at the Olympics.
Well, you know, I knew that you got to capitalize on any chance you get, and you know, you practice shooting all your life, and you know, it definitely came in handy at that moment.
But it seems that you can have too much of a good time, as goalkeeper Hope Solo revealed in an interview with ESPN. Solo told a wild story about the women's soccer team going out partying one night with celebrities in Beijing in 2008. They stayed out so late that they had to appear on a live interview with no sleep the following day. One of them even says they're playing at the World Cup rather than in the Olympics.
There was no pressure going into the game other than it being a World Cup, an Olympic final.
Number 4, Synchronized schism.
2 Brazilian synchronized divers have gone their separate ways after one's sex life interrupted the other's.
An intense scandal struck the Brazilian synchronized diving team back in 2016. One that led the 2 divers to swear they'd never compete together again. That scandal was that one of the divers, Ingrid Oliveira, kicked her roommate and fellow diver, Giovanna Pedrosa, out of the bedroom the day before the competition. Why did she do that?
20-year-old Oliveira kicked her partner out of their Olympic Village room for an alleged late-night sex session.
Because she wanted some alone time with fellow Olympian Pedro Goncalves. The next day, the divers finished last during the competition.
The pair finished in last place the next day in the 10-meter platform competition, more than 70 points behind China, and Pedroso dumped her partner soon after.
However, Oliveira herself has a different story, claiming that she didn't kick out Pedrosa, and it wasn't the night before the dive. Whatever the truth, it led to the pair breaking up for good. Number 3, Lacka lair.
Josh Lacka from the United States was unique for many different reasons.
Competing in the Olympics is undoubtedly a highlight of most athletes' careers, but it's also extremely stressful to have the eyes of the world on you while you try to win gold for your country. So it's not surprising to hear that Olympians have found some rather creative ways to unwind over the years.
Life's been treating me pretty well since I kind of walked away from the shooting world and picked something a little different to do.
One of those was Josh Lacka, a shooting champion from Team USA back at Sydney in 2000. Lacka broke into an abandoned house in the village after his events were finished, and the place became a party pad for Olympians craving a little privacy. It was a nest of debauchery right under the nose of the Olympic Committee, and he only came clean a decade later.
Thankfully, we were established enough that they didn't really ride us too hard about what they thought we should do. They let us do what we thought we should do.
Number 2, #Sochi problems.
Right now, this is an image from Trends Map of the conversation that's taking place around Sochi 2014 and the Sochi hashtags.
The Winter Olympics is traditionally not as popular as the Summer Games, but that doesn't mean it's acceptable for host countries to skimp on the event.
If we can bring up the Sochi problems map, this will give you an idea of how people got involved or where people are talking about Sochi problems. Here we go.
If you thought Paris in 1924 looked bad, wait until you hear more details on Sochi, the same event where they tried to get rid of all the dogs.
Millions of dogs are threatened every day by the same type of dog calls that took place in Sochi.
One of Sochi's most infamous moments was the double toilet stalls, where organizers didn't bother installing a divider between 2 toilets.
This is a real picture with the Olympians. They didn't have time to put in the divider?
There were also signs advising athletes not to go fishing in the toilets, and plenty of events that were made more dangerous by courses being poorly designed. The food was inedible, the decor was ugly, and some of the buildings weren't even finished. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. So many condoms.
The drinking, the all-night partying, the scandal.
It's been the Olympics' worst kept secret for years now, but the athletes are notorious for getting down and dirty while the games are ongoing.
These accounts make the Olympic Village sound more like Peyton Place or ancient Rome during one of its more rambunctious periods.
This is to the point where organizers order hundreds of thousands of condoms each year just to be sure that their athletes are being as safe as possible. When you put that many world-class athletes in one place for weeks on end, things are going to happen. And at least the Olympic organizers know this and plan accordingly, rather than trying to stop nature from taking its course.
A place where, reportedly, officials regularly stock 100,000 condoms.
But the numbers will still blow your mind. There were 450,000 condoms distributed at Rio, which averages to 42 per person. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.